This week, Slater and crew received a short reprieve from torpedo target practice. Bright and early on the 1st of August, students from the Sound School came aboard. Slater was going to be used to train the next generation of sonar operators. She departed the Orange State Pier at 0628 with the captain at the con and navigator on the bridge. As she maneuvered past various buoys, a steering casualty drill was conducted, and after steering took control. Shortly after, it was reported that all of the ship's gyro repeaters were out of operation, and all compass headings were shifted to the ship's magnetic compass. Once she arrived at the exercise area, she rendezvoused with the submarine USS R-14, a World War I era boat that was used for training purposes during the Second World War. Also joining them on this date were the patrol craft sweepers PCS 1392 and PCS 1424 for exercise 3 Easy. This exercise was an opportunity for the students to detect an actual submarine in real time. School was out at 1358, and Slater returned to the Orange State Pier and moored with 6 lines. That evening, 3,340 gallons of fresh water was taken aboard. On the 2nd, the commander of Task Group 23.3 held an inspection of both the ship and crew. After securing from inspection, Slater got underway at 10:07. She entered the exercise area and commenced exercise 3 Dog at 11:27. The log does not specifically state what this exercise was for, but it seems to have involved the sound students again, because they would discharge from the ship at 15:57 when a motor launch came alongside, after which she returned to port. Slater's time as a school continued on the 3rd, when the sound students returned with their instructors. Exercise 3 Dog was run through again on this date, and this time it involved the use of hedgehogs. 8 of them were expended in the simulated attack, and the students departed again that afternoon via motor launch, and Slater proceeded to the Orange State Pier. After receiving provisions from the Naval Operating Base as well as 4,000 gallons of fresh water, Leroy Mitchell, bosun, was detached from the ship under orders. The next day, she departed the Orange State Pier under the Fleet Sound School operation order. This morning, William Best Bounds, Jr. was declared a deserter. Shortly after 0800, exercises began with a friendly submarine. G.K. Green, Seaman Second Class, was added to the sick list, and George Dean, Seaman Second Class, was not present at the morning battle stations. The day's exercise ended early at 13:43, when Slater detached from duty with the friendly submarine to proceed at flank speed to assist PCS 1405, which was under tow by SC 989. The whaleboat was lowered and sent to PCS 1405 with 2 handy billies plus a rescue and salvage party. ATM 349 joined the trio at 16:45 to take over towing of PCS 1405, and 45 minutes later, the rescue tug ARS 12 arrived on scene to relieve Slater, and she proceeded to port. Just after sunset, shipfitters from PCS 1405 returned the borrowed handy billies and hoses back to Slater. On the 5th, George Dean, Seaman Second Class, was declared a straggler for being AOL since 2300 on the 3rd. On this date, Slater returned to her previous duties as a target for torpedo planes. Lieutenant Layton from the Boca Chica Air Base came aboard to supervise the torpedo exercises. G.K. Green remained in the sick list, and that afternoon, a green and black smoke bomb were fired off the ship. After completing the torpedo exercises, Slater returned to port, and a few new crew members reported for duty. C.M. Lewis, Seaman Second Class, and T.S. Booz, Seaman First Class, were both taken to the hospital for lead poisoning. And finally, 9,790 gallons of fresh water were taken aboard. 2 more sailors were taken to the hospital on the morning of the 6th. H.W. Kendall, Fireman First Class, and F.R. Giovanni, Ship's Fitter Third Class, were both transferred to the hospital for lead poisoning. After they departed the ship, Slater returned to the torpedo exercise area and began training with VT-48. This ended at 1640, and Slater returned to port. A group of sailors returned from their 10-day leave, and R.E. Powell, electrician, was detached from the ship. And not much change on the 7th. Slater continued to act as a target for TBF Avengers, and a contingent of observing officers departed at 1551, and Slater remained in the area to practice firing at a sleeve target towed behind a TBF Avenger. Hundreds of rounds of 20mm, 40mm, and 3-inch were expended. After returning to port, Fred Rush, steward's mate first class, returned late from his leave. Emmanuel M. Hamilton, fireman first class, left for 10 days of emergency leave. The countdown until Slater's first convoy continues next week. If you've enjoyed learning about Slater's journey from commissioning through her training, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and head on over to our website, ussslater.org, to learn more. While there, check out our online store and consider becoming a member. Not only do all store sales go directly into preserving Slater for generations to come, but your donations and membership fees do as well.